Recruiter here, the headless headhunter, getting you ahead of your job search by reviewing your resumes. The resume we have up first is an international data analyst. This resume is not good. I know that because they are telling me that it takes them over 150 applications to get a single interview. That is terrible. So, recruiters only have 20 seconds to find these qualifications, and if we cannot find those in 20 seconds, you get yeeted and deleted, unfortunately, you and your application. So what we're looking for, and these are not keywords, these are qualifications, there's a giant difference, is your degree, is your industry. The industry, I can't put all of them because it's going to differ based on your industry. So software will want like SDLC, medical would want like HIPAA and H17 or whatever. But as long as I'm aware of what industry you're in, that probably is close enough to count. We need SQL, data visualization, Tableau, Power BI, Looker, stakeholders, explaining complex technical concepts to non-technical stakeholders. That is seriously massive. How you solved a problem with data, not what the data is. Your industry, MS Excel, macros, pivot tables, VLOOKUP, Word, Python, R, multiple projects and deadlines, and a bonus for cloud. Again, you do not need all of these, but you do need about 75% to move forward to the next round. So let's see if I can find it in 20 seconds. Okay, good. I don't care that you cleaned and processed data. AI is okay, but it's not like the main thing I'm looking for. None of this is what I'm looking for. And I have 8 seconds left. Tableau is good. KPI can be nice. SQL is good. And Python is good. Did you at all do anything with stakeholders? No. So that is time, and this would get yeeted and deleted. So this is why your resume does not work. Is I cannot find what I need in those 20 seconds that I have. So here's how we can improve this resume so it's not garbage. So first off, your formatting is off. This is peak formatting. Now, to you, the candidate, what you are thinking is, this looks ugly. Yes, it does look ugly. That's the point. That is a feature. That is not a bug. A good resume looks boring, basic, and ugly. The sleeker and shinier and prettier your resume looks, the more likely it is to get rejected. So how to actually format it like that is on my website. There's also this if you wanted to pause the video and just write everything down for some reason, but it's on my website, and your resume should look like this. I don't care if you are a data analyst, a software engineer, a nurse, a accountant, a cashier, a marketing manager, or a, I don't know, scientist. You need your resume to look like this, okay? This is seriously peak resume format. I as a recruiter who has today gone over multiple resumes and has rejected people, please use this format. It lets me find what I need faster than whatever this is. So, formatting issues aside, of which there are quite a bit, here's the big problem is I don't find anything I need. So you told me you are looking for data analyst or data scientist roles. Well, the problem with that is those have different qualifications. So up here is the data analyst, and now I'm about to replace them with a data scientist. So are there some similarities? Yes, Python, R, SQL, we do want to mention data, but a data scientist will focus more heavily on AI, ETL, dashboards, kind of things, modeling, and I don't really care about that in this, which is data analyst. Data analyst is not going to be focused on those things. So does this read more like a data scientist? Yes, it kind of does. Would I have enough to move you forward for a data scientist? Pandas, NumPy. I have a little bit of AI, but you don't state it. And no, I don't think so because I still don't have enough of the stuff. So first off, you need to split this resume into two. If you're going for data scientist roles, go for data scientist roles with one resume and then make another for data analyst. So since I assume you are more likely to be a scientist, I'm going to change this to scientist, which I probably misspelled. No, I did it right. So what do we find for a data scientist? Well, we find Python. That's good. I'm taking the stuff out that I find. We have SQL. Good. That's good. We have really nothing else. Like, I really am looking for modeling analytics, not really, like, integrity. Is there ETL? I think I saw ETL. Yeah, so ETL I found. Dashboards are good. pandas, NumPy, but I don't see the rest of AI, because remember, the person reading your resume may not know that pandas and skibbity learn mean AI. It's entirely probable. But I think the biggest issue with this, besides there's a lack of cloud and Excel and Word and modeling, which is quite a bit, is you don't tell me how you explain complex topics to technical people or non-technical people. That is massive. That is like one of the biggest things that you can do, is explaining how you do X to somebody that doesn't know what X is. If you are going for a highly technical role, you need to put how you explain stuff to non-technical folk. This is massive, because part of your job as a data scientist is to influence the stakeholders, is to go to Bob, the CEO of the company, and Bob is like, hey, I need you to analyze this. And if you go to Bob and say, hey, I did a advanced standardization of Tableau ARIMA time series models with Matplotlib and Seaborn, they will be like, what is that? I don't know what that is. I cannot turn on my monitor without assistance from IT. You have to explain to Bob that, oh, when we push a product with the color green on it, sales go up by 2%. Stunk go up, okay? That is what part of your job is. As a data scientist, as a data analyst, as somebody highly technical and the subject matter expert, your job needs to show what you do to people that don't know it. And you failed at doing that through your resume. So you also include a bunch of nonsense stuff that I don't need, like pre-processed 10,000 tweets for tokenization streaming utilizing listmsvm and hyperparameter tuning. I'm not asking for that. If you look at most of the job descriptions you are applying to, I don't think any of them are going to be asking for that. And if they're not asking for it, it's not relevant. And if you noticed up here, you don't have enough stuff. You might have like 40%, but again, you are an international. Your ratio is going to be much worse than somebody who is a citizen. You have to try 3 times as hard. You may need almost all of this to even get an interview, especially with how the laws have been changing recently. So this does not work because you kind of showed what you did, like how you got the data, which we don't care, right? Like, you spend the last 5 years focusing on how you get to the result. We don't really care how you get to the result. Weirdly enough, we don't want you to show your work. We just want to know that it works and what we could do with it. And you don't tell me that. So this needs to be redone, probably from the ground up. I think this may be a burn it and try again. So fix the formatting, focus, split this into 2, one data analyst, one data scientist. Have the stuff I actually want, and you really, really need to, regardless of which resume this is for, put in how you explain stuff to non-technical folk. Doesn't have to necessarily be stakeholders. It can be, teaching people, students this. It could be doing tech support. All of those show that you can explain stuff to non-technical folk. So that's all I can do for this resume. Before we go on to the next resume, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you ever need more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST till whenever work pulls me away at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. That is where I find these. That is where I help you out beyond just a YouTube channel. And now let us go to the next resume. This is a resume of a project coordinator. This is their 4th time submitting, I think. Yes. So they have a slight issue with formatting, but that's okay. They're going to fix it. It's 10. Their formatting is Arial 10.0. We want 10.5. It is a minor difference, but it can make it easier to read. The fact that this is all the way off in the corner is not a huge deal. That's not a big problem. And it may go past 1 page, and that's okay. That's okay if it goes past 1 page. So what we're looking for in a project coordinator is multitasking, organizational skills, industry, Microsoft Office, Google Workspace, Smartsheets, Jira, Confluence, Excel, MS Project, Outlook, proactive problem solving, client, customer, stakeholder interaction, and a bonus for admin, whatever CAPM, Asana, Trello, and MS Project are. So let's find out. All right, cross-collaborated. That's okay. You can just say collaborative cross-functionally. Departments deliver... It's neat. Deliver dashboards for Smartsheet and identify potential risk and shift resources. Good. Deploy model 5 automated MS enabling team 2. Yeah, that's really good. Jira and Confluence, MS Office. I think I found everything. Is there anything I'm really missing? So I think you should just say worked cross-functionally instead of cross-collaborated. Still, it's a minor issue. Again, right now we are sort of barely moving the needle. This is good. It would pass. Also, you don't want that little underline between there. But let's see. Deliver forecasting system for small and medium-sized enterprises, eradicating costly infrastructure and resulting in model showcasing at L3M. I mean, that's good. It tells me what you do. It says cross-functional. It tells you that you did this department. Actionable, delivered. I don't know if you need to say clear and actionable. I think you can just say delivered KPI dashboards for 20 plus stakeholders with Smartsheet and Tableau, helping them identify potential risks earlier and shift resources to where they are most needed. Deployed prototype model 5. I don't know if you need... You should say deployed our prototype. Deployed prototype model. Okay. Deployed our prototype 5 weeks ahead of schedule by building automations, and this is good. Yeah, and proactively fixed issues using Jira. Was this with stakeholders? Because if you could slip in another stakeholder there. But I don't think I'm missing anything. I mean, this is really good. It's just a minor formatting issue of this being underlined and this being and all of this being the wrong font. As it should be 10.5 instead of 10. But again, no, that's cross-functional team. Yeah. No, fantastic. Again, I think that's what they're going to be looking for. Just make sure you change this to worked cross-functionally, change the formatting, and yeah, that's it. Really solid. Love it. Good job. Let's go to the next resume. This is a resume from a Python developer. This person is not getting any interviews. They say that ratio is about 200 to 1, which again is really bad. Ideally, you want to aim for a minimum of 50 applications to a single interview. That is the goal. 50 to 1 is like the minimum goal you want to make. So before I read what they wrote, I'm going to view this as I would a Python developer. So let's do 20 seconds first. What we're looking for is Python, SQL, any of them, Docker, Cloud, and its words. So like AWS would be EC2. I don't know what they are for GCP or Azure, but I do know they exist. RESTful APIs, Agile, Git, CI/CD, and one of these. So full stack, AI, DevOps, or Fast API, Flask, and Django. So basically, it's one of those things in the brackets. Is, are you a Python developer that is also DevOps, that is also full stack, or pure Fast API, Flask, Django Python developer? So let's see if I can find it in 20 seconds, and then I will read what they wrote. All right, this is not needed. Also, if you're a Python developer, why did you say Java first? Okay, nothing here I can use, so we go down. AWS is good. Java Spring Boot. Okay, so you're not a Python developer. Java Spring Boot. Okay, so I immediately found enough to know that you are not a Python developer, despite the fact that you are in chat and you wanted to start with Python. So maybe I can find enough to see if you are a Java developer. Let's switch this to Java. Let's see. So, what I need for Java developer is Java, Spring, Spring Boot, SQL, RESTful APIs, microservices, OOP, Git, other APIs, Maven, Cloud, architecting, SDLC, MongoDB, and a bonus for any of that other stuff. So, redo. Let's find out again. Okay, so I can skip this. AWS, again, was good for both. Java, good. Spring Boot, nothing. This is so hard to read because it's very small font. Java, OpenAI could be a benefit. LangChain and Docker. Yeah, I don't have enough. So this doesn't work for either of those, and that is the problem, is because you combined it. So while I do say it is okay to have a bonus language, you still need the first one to be first. So this is a mix between a Python and Java developer, which is why it fails, because typically companies want you to be strong in one of them. And I know that because I am working on hiring a few Python developers, although admittedly it is usually those that are like 2+ years experience at least. And If you come into that and the first thing they see is Java, the manager is immediately going to get sus. You cannot be a Python developer and the very first thing we see is Java. It needs to be here. These need to be all Python, and then maybe the last one can be Java to show you can also do some Java. Same thing on the reverse with a Java developer, is they hire based on stacks. So let's see what you actually wrote me. You were also in chat, which I can check out afterwards. Is I am an international student. Oof, that is extra tough. 201 ratio, focusing mainly on back-end roles and LLM engineers. We'll submit an LLM resume soon after getting the stuff to get the skip the line, which also, if you join my chat for free, you can get a line skip to skip the giant queue, because right now there are over 200 resumes in my queue, and it takes me close to, I usually only get about like 30 of them done a week. So if you want your resume done, probably may need a line skip. Again, it's free. I do not charge for it, nor will money make you skip the line. Let's see. Love your content. Hope we're getting my resume to shine. Instruct me as soon as possible. Feedback. Yeah. So the biggest issue is, besides the formatting, is it should look like this. Is this should be deleted. This should be deleted. And we need you to focus, because you're kind of in between a Python dev and a Java dev. And I do know that they don't, I know you're new, right? I know you're new. I know you haven't really picked a stack, but resumes by their very nature, and if anybody who's not a developer listens to this goes for you as well, is resumes are job specific. They are job title specific. You cannot send a resume asking me like, hey, what can I do? Is I can't tell you, because you need to know what you can do and then submit your resume. And with this is, if they're looking for a back-end Java developer, why do they care about Python? It's not needed. If they're looking for a Python developer, why do they care about Java? It's nice to know sometimes you can do another language, but they are usually in corporate, both startups and, big-time corporos. They want you to pick a stack. So I'm not saying you needed to have specialized and you wasted your time in college. I'm saying you need two resumes, one with a focus of only on Java, one with a focus of only on Python. So, and that's the problem with this, is there's not enough for either of those because you split it down the middle. Like, I do like Java, I do like Spring Boot, AWS is good for both, but then the rest of this has nothing I need. And then here, Java Spring is great, and then I see Python, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I see Docker, which is, again, kind of okay, and then nothing else. Oh, I missed CI/CD because this is so hard to read. And then Java. So you need to focus. And that's the biggest issue beyond like how to make the bullet points, is it's just everything, and a resume that does everything fails to get an interview. So that's all I can do for this one. Let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a warehouse manager. I think they are in chat, so they can correct me if I got this wrong, but I have not recruited for this before, so again, I have to look up all these beforehand. From my understanding, what you need to be a warehouse manager, at least the ones I looked up, are your degree or high school diploma for some of them, team leadership, managing and supervising leaders, cross-functional warehouse experience, material handling equipment. That was in one of them. I actually don't think that is needed. But what is needed is Microsoft Office suites, Google Workplace, ERP, that you can operate the equipment on short notice and work with internal stakeholders and external stakeholders. From what I understand, this might actually be broken down into two different types of warehouse managers. One is like a smaller warehouse. The other is for more of like a global one. So that might actually be a difference in what they want between the two of those. But I can work with that person who's in my chat after this. So let's start the clock. Can I find this in 20 seconds? They also dox themselves, so I cannot show past this. And go. Degree, good. Used, I don't know if I need this. Excel is good. Okay. None of those are what I would be looking for besides Excel. I don't know if this is the right job title, I'll be honest. AutoCAD, this might be good. Yeah. I mean, here's the problem is, I think what you're looking for is not called warehouse manager. It might be supply chain manager. It might be something else, but it's not this, I don't think, because the only things I found are, well, Excel and ERP. But what they're looking for in a warehouse manager is leadership, and I don't see any of that as well. Like, vendor negotiations are good, but I don't see any how you interacted with stakeholders, how you ran a team, how you supervised people, how you worked cross-functionally, how you even worked in a warehouse. Because none of this shows that you worked in a direct warehouse. So I think despite your previous, what they called it outside the U.S., if you're looking in the U.S., it's not called a it's not called a warehouse manager. So I'm going to work with them out here because they are in my chat, but for everybody else, we're going to the next resume. This is a resume of an entry-level embedded systems software engineer. Sorry, embedded software engineer. There was some slight differences between an embedded systems engineer and embedded software systems engineer. So I just went with software because it seemed a little easier to do. So yeah, this is an embedded software engineer. So, in a previous stream, I stated that the best time to apply for full-time roles is, about 3 months before you start looking. And that is true, at least in the United States. I've heard a little bit of conflicting things. Apparently, some places hire like 9 months in advance for entry level. Personally, I've never worked at a place that could do that. But maybe that's just not part of my experience before. I'm still gathering the counsel of recruiters to decide if that is actually a thing or not. But they are now graduating within 3 months, so they want to make sure their resume is good. And what we need for an embedded software engineer is kind of a lot. It's actually a very good market right now at the time of this video, so they probably stand a very good chance at getting it. Is degree C, C++. Actually, I don't know if C# is it or not. I forgot if basically the 3 C's. Cross-functional, Python, RTOS, ROS, ROS2. I put Python twice. Python is actually a bonus. My bad. I am super distracted. Microcontrollers is really important along with microprocessors and embedded operating systems. Basically what you're going to be working on, I can change that too. So if you're working on, I don't know this part of the industry as much. If you're working on potatoes, I need to see the potato part. Agile, ISO, so ISO, any of the ISOs, it's going to depend on your industry. Doors, ARM, Linux, test platforms, TCP, IP, security principles, functional safety standards, Linux, and Python, Rust, CAN, SPI, I2C, HIL, Git, or Jira. Again, those are bonuses. So, can I find it in 20 seconds? Probably not, but that's also because this industry is very hot, so the recruiters probably get it close to 40 to 50 seconds. So, we're going to speed run this. And go. All right. Kubernetes, job sector. This does not seem like... Did I get the right resume? It does say embedded systems. Raspberry Pi, GPS, microprocessor... Huh. Yeah, I don't see what I'm really looking for. This might be a different title of the name. They were in chat, but they're not here anymore, and I really want to ask them a question if I was looking at the right ones, because this does not read like an embedded engineer. An embedded software engineer. Maybe this is an embedded systems engineer? Like the microprocessors, yes. But the rest of this stuff doesn't really contain anything I'm really looking for. I might have gotten the wrong resume. I'm going to double check real quick. I don't think it was. It says embedded resume. Yeah, this is the same one. I'm a little confused, especially because this happened twice. Yeah, I'm not sure what this is. This does not have basically anything I would be looking for, except microprocessors. I wonder if this is maybe a different section of it, or if they mistitled what they think they're going to go for. So anyway, let me know in the comments. Maybe I'm way off with this, but this does not read like an embedded systems engineer, an embedded software engineer that I would be able to move forward with. So this was quick. Let's go to the next video. No, resume. Blah. Y'all can tell I'm getting a little tired. This is a resume of a data analyst. So this is their next version of this, which should hopefully be more complete. What we need in a data analyst, again, real quick: degree, industry, SQL, data visualization, stakeholders, explaining technical concepts to non-technical stakeholders or people. It actually doesn't have to be other stakeholders. It just non-technical people in general. How you solved a problem with data, not what the data is. The industry, MS Excel, macros, pivot tables, VLOOKUP, Word, Python, R, multiple projects and deadlines, and a bonus for cloud. So, can I find that? We'll see. I'm starting to get fatigued. This is what happens in the middle of the day after... Bear, please don't lick me. Oh, that's so gross. My dog just licked my hand. Oh, God. It's so gross now. All right. And go. SQL, good. Excel, good. I don't know if SAS is needed or not. Maybe it is. Planning, good. KPI focused Power BI dashboards, good. SAP, good. Office and PowerPoint, good. Managed forecast sales manager, expert, explaining complex stakeholders, potential reveal requirements, gathering sharp. Yeah, I like that one. I think that should actually be higher, truthfully. And yeah, that's good. So let's make sure we find out what we need. We have SQL, good. We have Excel. Actually, so here's a bit of the thing. I don't know if SAS is needed. It may be. Again, this might be a specific industry thing. But what we do want to put is after Excel, I want to see like macros and pivot tables. Or macros, pivot tables, and VLOOKUP. It will make it a little longer, but they like seeing that advanced Excel. They don't just like Excel. They like to see that you've done like macros or pivot tables or VLOOKUP. Or cast customer demand patterns to help the clients for efficient inventory planning and degrees. Again, this is otherwise fine. So next, what do we have? So we do need to add the macros and stuff and whatever, but that's okay. I have industry twice for some reason. And this is forecasting. It's okay. It's good. It tells me what you did. Creative executive level reports and KPI focused. Again, I'm KPI can be one. I'm not sure if it is or not. Focused Power BI dashboards. So that's good. Where's Power BI? Here we go. You don't necessarily need Tableau and Looker and everything. So that's fine. Here it is. We do want to say, in fact, I would probably rephrase this as to like created data visualization dashboards, Power BI, for our stakeholders, which is good, using SAP Analytics and MS Office. So, which again, I don't know if we need Word. We already have the other important stuff to help identify top important projects, manage 4 cross-functional projects, which is good, cross-functional, and this is explaining complex topics to non-technical stakeholders. Although explaining complex topics to non-technical stakeholders and create a detailed process of visuals, letter requirement, gathering research. So I think my issue with this one is not a bad sentence. It's what was the point of doing this, right? You have the what, you have the how. I don't really see the results for this one or the reason for it. It's not terrible. We want to give you as much help as we can. And then the rest of this is okay. If not, this might not even need to be on here. Agile and Scrum, which probably should have been on there, but you did it. And Jira is good. We used Python. Again, Python or R, you don't need both. We did multiple projects. Do we have anything about deadlines? Yeah, good. Deadlines. And this does show how you solved a problem with data. So overall good. I think this is a move forward. I don't know about the industry stuff, but again, maybe I'm missing some industry specifics, but I think this is enough to move forward. We do have to reword some of it, but otherwise, I don't think this is bad, right? This is still solid. So this is going to be a very long video because I'm crunching all of this stuff into one stream. So for everybody else, we're going to the next stream, and we're going to the next resume. My brain. Y'all can tell I'm slowly losing my mind. This is a resume of a full stack software engineer. So, what we're looking for in the US at least is TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node, Angular, Next.js, GraphQL, SQL, React.js, API, RESTful APIs, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, cross-functionally, and one of these, .NET or Python or Java. You don't have to have all of them, just typically one of them. And bonus points for architecture, extra language, Git, and DevOps. So, can we find that in 20 seconds? And then I will read what this person said. So, since I think it's usually clearer to find it in 20 seconds first. So, and go. All right. I don't need some of that. Oh, this is really hard to read. AI, okay, but that's not quite what I'm looking for. Python. Next.js is good. AWS is good. This is a nightmare to read. Okay, RESTful APIs and HTML and CSS and JavaScript. PostgreSQL, yes. Is that enough to move forward? Maybe. This actually seems like your bullet points are solid, but your formatting is a nightmare. So let me count with what you actually had here. So React is good. I found SQL, but it's written in a way that actually they may not be able to find it because it's all bolded in a weird way. We found Node. No, we found JavaScript. HTML is good. We have Docker. Kubernetes is a bonus. Do we have Agile? No, but we do have Cloud, and Cloud is pretty big. We don't have CI/CD. We don't have TypeScript. Probably not move you forward. Again, I am a tech recruiter, and I have more knowledge of tech than the average recruiter. I have trained people on it. I don't want to say I'm the best ever because, I'm not the best person ever. I'm not. But I am above average, and I sometimes lower my tech knowledge when I review these to see what it would be like for somebody with zero. And I think if you had zero knowledge, you probably could not find what you needed. So this, weirdly enough, is one of the few times where it's not the contents of the bullet points, but it's actually the bolding. And the formatting. So your formatting needs to look like this. It absolutely needs to look like this. It is very difficult to find what I need if it doesn't. It's entirely possible there is TypeScript, Node, Next, and Angular and GraphQL in this, but I couldn't find it. So this just expired, so I don't know if you really want to put this. And you've already got the experience here, so it's okay to put, but I don't know how necessary it is. What I would put is like GCP/AW solutions, like that, to put them in the same thing. You want to delete this. Also, the fact that you are open to relocate is a giant yellow flag. Same with immediately available. So one of the very few times you want a summary is if you are relocating or switching industries. The reason is baby recruiters and baby hiring managers, they will say, oh, they're open to relocate. Cool, that's awesome. Let's do it. And then it comes time for them to actually relocate, and then they don't. And then you wasted the manager's time, and then you wasted your own time. So that's not good. So you want to actually put, if you're open to relocating, you want to put moving to X by Y date, can move sooner if needed. That way they know you are serious about relocating, because otherwise they're going to think, oh, you're just saying that and you're not going to relocate and you're going to leave us in the lurch. So is it fair to the candidate? Probably not, but unfortunately this is something that a company is going to do. So you need to show that you are moving to a specific area, because otherwise they will not move forward with it, unless it's a remote role, obviously. And then this, man, I get why you put this here, but if anything, even with the gap, I still like this. Maybe just put it, maybe like a single one is, I don't think they're going to look favorably on this one, but I like the AI part, but it's so confusing. There's so many texts here, and the formatting's so awful. I can't find half this stuff. I actually missed AWS on the first time. Oh, here's Next.js. Yeah, I missed that because of your formatting. So then we do here, don't delete this. We don't need this. This is actually fine. I actually like how you wrote it. You just need to, again, stop bolding everything. And this should be a separate line. And then this is fine, this is fine, this is fine, and then delete this because I don't care about the technologies there. They have to be in here. And you have to show me how you use them and the reason and result you use them. So what did this person say to me? They said, second round of the interview, this is not my formatting. They said they followed my formatting. This is not my formatting. My formatting looks like this. This is easy to read. This is a logistical nightmare. There's so many things here that I don't know what you did, that I can't tell what you did wrong. I added a little description about what I did in my role just below the company name. Don't like that. Please don't do that. Application interview ratio is still very high to a non-citizen and non-green card holder. Yeah. So your resume needs to look like this, especially if you're like a non-citizen, because you're going to need extra help. And this is the best way. I swear to you all. I understand where you're coming from. You're like, well, how does it look great? It looks boring. It looks basic. It looks so bland. And that is the point. That is a feature. That is not a bug. I know this looks ugly. Of course this looks ugly. This looks exactly very ugly and boring. And it doesn't help you stand out. But that's the point. Because you know what happens if you stand out during the resume phase? You get yeeted and deleted. That is the problem. You don't want to stand out during the resume phase. You want to stand out during the interview. In the resume, it needs to read like a governmental form. I want you to write your resume like you're turning in a form at the Dungeons and Motor Vehicles. I was about to say Dungeons and Dragons at the Department of Motor Vehicles. Your resume is a government form and you need to write it like one. So if you just fix the formatting, you would have such a better shot. So again, just don't put this random thing here. Don't put this random thing here. Stop with the bolding. You would have had so much better chance. You still need a little bit of other stuff like Agile, but maybe it's here and I can't find it because it's so hard to read. Remember, I have 20 seconds. That's it. There were 50 resumes before you. There were 50 resumes after you, some of which are in different industries. It needs to be boring and basic and easy to read. So that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. And if you ever need more help, you can come onto my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST. And until next time, please subscribe. And I am here helping you get ahead of your job search.